If I just randomly disappear, my bad, but my GERD is really acting up. So,
So, here we are, once again, everyone. Here we be, once more into the breach. I'm back. It's been, it's been a couple months. Colton, this is a. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Oh, it's because the timer ended. That's why. Okay, stop that. You need to go back to my chatting screen. Colton, this is a 18 plus stream. Um, So you just outed yourself there, big guy. Bye bye. Don't make me remove you forcefully. Anyway, thank you all for coming in to see the game once again. To go back into the story from where we were. Along with us with tonight, we have a few of our players with us tonight. Unfortunately, between my own schedule changing among other things, we have a lack of players, but it is fine because we're gonna keep going forward. As one of them said, we're in too deep. We got to finish what we started. So,
Oh, son of a bitch. You're doing it already. Oh,
doing what? What am I doing?
because
Exactly.
I'm in too deep
No,
and
no,
I'm
no. That was
trying to
you.
keep
That
all the
was you.
blood in my head. No. It didn't happen until you said it.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. You've been gone for a couple months. I
Son of a
apparently have that effect on
bitch.
you.
Immediately, like fucking 5 minutes, dude. Sorry,
Just
continue.
5 minutes into it. And so, as a secondary notion, because we are adults here and we're playing a adult game, this is a mature stream. There will be words thrown around that you may not understand, and there's going to be a lot of things happening, whether obtuse violence or fantasy violence. But to catch you all up on what happened with me, the past few months have been extravagant, I guess the way to put it. Moved. The kids are in a new house. We are in a new house. We are in my new office. As you can see behind me, it does not look like the broom closet I had previously. It actually has, you can't see from behind. Actually, you can do this. Zip. We have soundproofing up now. We have all of my flags, guitars. We have my masks from my shows. We have all of my garb, my painting station, everything else in between is in here for me to finish up costumes and otherwise. But I am so very happy to. Oh, you came into the fancy soundproofing? Why, thank you. I fought with that soundproofing for a week and a half, and Rexus can tell you, where I had to figure out how to get it to stick to my wall because the stickies they sold me with it didn't stick to the foam, stuck to the wall. So I made a cube of silence. I stuck it onto a cardboard box and then harvested its skin.
Yep. The only thing that flag behind you tells me, by the way, is would you like to know more? That's all I hear every time I
The
see that
Federation
flag. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? That's actually a game I'm going to start playing on stream more is Starship Troopers. Because they've been doing a lot of updates to it. I'm excited.
Is the game actually good now?
Oh, it's been good, but now they've added, like, they've started, like when those developers hit that momentum and they start really yeah, it's hit that stage where, like, they're, like, picking up momentum, running with it. It's really good to watch.
Totally look at my stream and see the shirt, though.
All right, I'm doing. Hold on, fine. There's so many windows I have to click through. There's too many things. God. I knew it. I knew it had to be something like that. I don't know what I expected, but there it is. There it is.
The worst part is she bought it for me.
Mrs. Rage bought it.
She bought it.
What a champ.
No shit.
What a champ. But yeah, so
right, I'm done stealing your little intro here, so I'm gonna go get a drink now.
But no, we're here. We're getting things together. We moved. We set up shop. We're getting everything set up for the kids. My time slots are changing. We're trying to get back into things. Carson's schedule has been absolutely wacky with her new job, and so it's just been good. And I've been doing stuff with Bart City. I've been talking with Bart at Compass. Been doing a bunch of crafting stuff. Their server our Bart City's Compass just went live yesterday. So I am the big sheriff in town. I get to wear the big sheriff hat in their server, make sure everything's nice and clean. So that's a lot of fun to do. But we're here. One of the big things I'm planning on doing for the rest of the year, if you don't notice, my microphone's different because this is a vocal recording high dynamic. Because I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get a album released by the end of the year. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll just keep on working on it until it comes out the following. So it's a lot of fun. Some nights during the week for streaming, I'll be actually doing music and arts and crafts with you guys. So that's going to be fun to do because I got a gooseneck camera now. So everything's going in one direction. But you're not here to hear about me. You're here to talk to our dear friends, the players, the people who are going to be going through the story of what truly is happening in the Siege of Etheria. Now, I can comment straight, like, what? Just... Is that what you're talking about, man? Just comically strangle it. I knocked over my vape. I'm sad. It just means we're at a good start. Let's keep the streak going. Thank you, Stealth. Someone's got to clip that. Just me strangling the shit. It's probably gonna happen later. You don't have to clip that one. We can clip it later. But we are heading back into the Siege of Etheria, where we're all in too deep into the story to let it go. So it's going to become a bro force. It's going to be our 3 players who are here to really tack on their big things. And Carson with the 69 bits. I know it has been a long time. I have not streamed in like 2.5 months. It has been a minute. But now we're all here. We're all back for the fun times. So where we left our heroes in the Siege of Etheria, we left them at the episode known as the Setlands, where after a number of things, they finally found their way down to the Setlands to find the soldier's sword. There was an old ruin that they were pointed to that they met Faust at after dealing with a number of other things. And once they entered, they came across a man in distress who led them further down into the ruins as they searched for the artifact that they had been sent to find. As after crossing through some of the rooms and finding their way around, they found a strange sword that is now being carried by the paladin. Thank you, Mana. I appreciate you, doll. That is amazing. Rexus, or in this case, Kovral, the paladin, the dwarven paladin, picked up the sword and used it to crack open the door. The man they saved stayed behind, closing it behind them, as he turned out from being a person into a sload. Sloads being a type of amphibian person. Yes, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons, Colton. As the sload turned back into its normal form, it was immediately eviscerated by a spear thrown by the late barbarian. And in this essence or another, it now leaves the 3 party members and their paladin Fausta to stand against the Draco Hydra that sits in the center of the room. And so, as we swap over, because that's what did you do? Okay, it's not even telling me what you did. Oh, 420
bits?
Yeah. It's the docks are all kinds of squeezed. I got to do some resizing on my screen on this end.
Professional streamers over here, guys. Professional streamers.
Hey, we're all professional streamers. Professional does not mean good at it. It just means we do it long enough that we can consider ourselves a profession.
We did it long enough to become like
touche.
Like, listen.
Fucking what? I don't even know what the term is. What's the term? Affiliated. That's it.
Yeah,
there we go.
Answer your question, Colton. The game never ends. This specific campaign's been going on for 10 months. 10 months. It's been going on. We've been playing We've been playing up to this point weekly before November. So 40, we're currently at 28 sessions. No, that wasn't at you, Colton. But it was more of, that's one of the players in here. He's throwing stuff at me for funsies. But again, mature stream and mature themes incoming. So prepare yourselves. If you're not prepared, the door is there. Otherwise, I'll forcefully evict you. It's fine. But here's the big thing. I have the game ends whenever it decides the game ends. Yeah, basically. I have a surprise for all of you. I've been working on something small, specifically for our D&D streams, because as much as I love the camera on my face, it's all about my players. So it would be good to understand what they're doing. Colton, you don't have to leave, but just understand it is mature.
See, 08, let me see if I can math that. 15? Yeah, that's close enough.
Yeah. So, as long as you're not under 13, which is against TOS.
In a few months, you could drink a beer in Germany. Yeah. Who the fuck cares?
It's more of, if you're under 13, Twitch will come after you. But if you're under 18, just be aware. Just be aware. And here comes Carson with the gifting 5 subs. Oh my god. Here we go.
Carson, I've missed you so much.
Absolutely wonderful. So, for the surprise, those of you who are in the game, pay attention to the screen as we swap over to...
Which screen? There's so many screens while playing this game. Just want to let you know that.
Yes, my streamer screen.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. That's what these drawings were for.
Yeah. So now, instead of Discord dots,
I feel like with my dude, I need to start talking like fucking Randy Savage. Just saying.
I mean, you can.
Ooh, yeah. That's the best I got.
I mean, that's
you gotta deal with that.
That's pretty on the nose. I'll take it.
Okay, fair.
But I figured this would do it better so that people would know who's talking. So instead of a dot that has your profile picture and your name, now they actually see you, in a sense. A nice little caricature that shows who's talking and what you're doing. A little something about your personality.
Yeah, but every time you talk, yours winks at me, and your name is Dungeon Daddy. I am not okay with this, but yet more okay than I thought I would be.
He winks because he has an eye patch, because I like the design when I originally put it together.
I'm just
one eye closing,
winking.
It's still winking. Just saying.
Yes. So, we find ourselves here with our players in front of the situation that is the Draco Lich. Not the Draco Lich, that's a wrong enemy. Draco Hydra, the other thing. I was like, wait a second, you only ready for
very
Draco
concerned
Lich.
for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, there's
Hang on,
another
hang
one.
No, it is just it is a Draco Hydra. It is not a Draco Lich. Oh god, and I'm scaring myself. All right.
Down 3 players. Hey, let's just add another boss immediately. Let's go for it.
Immediate second combat. Yeah, I
just-
collectively pooped.
So you
and I'm the
thought
one
this
running-
was the only thing?
And wait for the trap card. Polymerization.
I mean, I nearly crapped myself because I was like, wait a second, no.
Oh, you gotta change that that timer there, buddy.
I gotta fix the alerts. I gotta fix the bot. That's a later problem.
The future burn problem.
Yeah. And what's really cool is that I could be doing anything now, like painting a mask, and you wouldn't know.
Painting a mask is not where I went with that. Just FYI.
You sick bastard.
It's not where I went either.
Damn it, Stealth. You can't be
Wow.
reinforcing it.
I have a question
Yeah.
regarding your comment. Do you expect any fucking thing different?
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
secretly a VTuber. Listen, it was there was a time where well, everyone here remembers Cactus, where
What kind of cactus?
a moist cactus. He
Oh, come on. You got to give it more
all right,
oomph than that.
fine. A moist cactus.
Thank you.
Yes. He was like, "Are you gonna be a VTuber?" And I looked at him and went, "No, I'm not gonna be mid." Just that was, and because he does VTubing, and he was like, "Ah," I was like, "Ha, I win." Ha. But no, I think this is a lot more fun. It makes it so much easier, keeps less distractions on the screen, makes it fun. But anyway, the 4 heroes found themselves in front of the Draco Hydra. A large monster rising out of the pit with multiple chromatic heads. You stand in a stone circular room with a pool in the center, which the Draco Hydra arose out of, as most of you predicted at the end of the last session in October. It rises out.
I forgot to hit the start streaming button until...
Roxas.
I was wondering if you were gonna stream.
I've been sitting here and, like, I got everything set up and I forgot to fucking click start streaming.
Oh, buddy.
I'm
Well,
so sorry. I wish I would have said something. I'm sorry. I should have. Next time I'll say something.
I should have fucking bonked you. But no, we have 4 minutes till we have a quick ad break on our end anyways. So we'll take the minute to just kind of exposition the room, let Rexus get his stuff set up to come in and start his streaming. And Zendif for the fire, for the win. Very good. Welcome in, Zendif.
No, SC Media, thank you so much for the lurk. And good morning to you.
Oh, Zendif. Hello.
See, now my ad starts in 9 minutes and 41 seconds. Like,
Now we're all off schedule, Rexus. God.
Oh, I'm just gonna push my ads at the same time yours go off.
I mean, that's
I mean,
fair.
yeah, I
Might
think
as
I'm just
well.
going to manually trigger mine at the same time so that that's all synced.
okay. How do I do that?
So on your stream control screen, like, you know, where it has like edit and all those buttons,
Yeah.
your stream manager, has the little green button that looks like a dollar bill.
Are you talking on fucking Twitch? You're talking on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh. You think I look at Twitch when I fucking stream, dude? Like, what do you think
I
this
mean,
is?
or you could add to your stream deck and you can just make a button on there.
Oh yeah, that too.
Let's not talk about Stream Deck, okay?
Still haven't repaired that.
Oh man.
I've done what I can. All right, then that's what anyone's getting.
That's just what it be. What it do. Yeah, so I don't look at it either. I just have it up so I can access my secondary commands. So, let's go for the next 2 minutes. And what we'll do is we'll do some quick exposition. The ads will roll on everyone's channel, and then we'll all be back on schedule to keep going forward. First night's going to be bumpy, but that's okay. That's how life is. That's how it works, you know? That's how it goes.
Okay. I got mine going for 60 seconds. 45 at this point. Oh, I totally did make an upgrade with the Stream Deck though.
Oh, dope.
I hit one button and every fucking thing opens.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, like OBS, Discord, Chrome, Voice Meter, Voice Mod, my Streamlabs stuff, Lumia Stream, my RGB shit, all of it.
Ooh. Fancy.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
That is pretty amazing, actually.
That's what the fuck is it called? It's a multi-action button, and then like I made everything and just dragged it to it, copied and dragged it to it.
Solid. I like it.
Oh, there's the play ad button. That's fucking easy. Jesus.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and roll my ads now, just to get everything sorted. So in 3, 2, 1, bonk.
Ad being run.
Stealth, your ad was like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your ad break is
way
2 minutes and
Stealth
6
and-
seconds.
Oh, well, the way Stealth and I have our ads set up is so that we have an hour at a time, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, every hour it runs 3 minutes, and then that keeps the pre-rolls instead of every 30 minutes with 1.5 minute.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Because otherwise, if people flick in, it will just hit them with those unskippables for whatever reason. But yeah. So we have the next couple minutes, so we'll talk about some quick little details. So everything's going to run as per normal, as we did before the roll tables on D&D Beyond. And we're just going to keep on trucking as we do. The idea here is that you have the Draco Hydra in front of you, and it's looking odd. You find yourself in a essentially very large stone room where the stones around the center pit, which is filled with what looks like water, seems very clean. It's non-existent of moss and algae, as one would imagine if there's a pool of water in the center. The Draco Hydra that is up, coming towards you, and is kind of teetering on the edge with its front arms, seems to be older. Its scales are definitely a more faded color. They're not as vibrant as one would imagine. As you've all seen chromatic dragons, one of you actually rode one into the ground. So you would know that their scales are very vibrant, especially the metallic ones that are even more so. The actual ichor coming from their body, what almost seems to be sliding off the scales, is that of a darker hue than you would imagine. It's not the same as water. There's a lot of things in this room that seem strange, but you do remember that there is a door on the far end of the room that you can get out of. But it looks like it's a heavy iron gate that would have to be either wrenched open or broken open to escape. But from what all you know is that you're pretty sure you have the soldier's sword, the artifact you were coming to find, which is currently held by Kovral. But now the question becomes, how do you get out of this room with your lives intact? Because as you look around, you don't see the images of either Mandy or Tovar. And Nosh as well seems to be not here. Seems to be absent. You look inside the hibernation haberdashery, and there seems to be no one there. It's just you three. Even the bracelet that Mandy carried that opened the door back to Silverthorn Keep lays on the ground.
I call bracelet. I mean, unless anybody else wants it.
I mean, you pick it up easily, and it fits your Aarakocra wrist very well.
Here I am about to be like, oh, I wonder where the fuck they went. I call dibs!
Dibs! Dibs! What the man calls dibs.
Look, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't get lost to time, okay?
That's fair.
You do.
Well, since nobody wants it, it just disappears. I can see fucking Bird doing that shit.
Listen, maybe. I mean, it's good instinct, good intuition. But even behind you, where your party members were before you moved forward into the room, it seems to be just a coldness that lays behind you. Just an absence of life. And you now look straight ahead towards the Hydra, as its heads kind of just move, observing you, all in tandem. Their maws dripping that weird blue-gray ichor as they just stare down at you with menace. Now, here comes the question for you. What are you going to do about it?
Hey
Guys,
are
I
we
don't know
fighting
if
or are we
this is-
running?
I don't know if this is a good idea. I'm kind of hurting.
What do you mean you're kind of
Hey,
hurt?
I'm a little rough myself.
Yeah, I'm at like half life. I might be a little rough to fight that right now.
Oh,
Mm.
What are you thinking?
I mean, I've taken a couple scratches, but I'm mostly okay. I don't have very many spell slots left though. So I only have one at the 3rd level. And I can either call forth a healing spirit to try to heal you guys if we fight. I mean, I have a wind wall that we could try to put up and then make a run for it. I mean, I can conjure a barrage.
I apparently haven't used any of my spell slots. I am injured, but I do have all of my spell slots. And all of my lay on hands.
Okay.
So,
I still have 9 of my key points out of 10.
So you guys
But
are fucked on health and I'm fucked on mana. Is that what we're hearing?
That's
Yeah,
right.
basically.
Cool.
So, as
I do
you're
have
all-
3 graders.
Yes, he does have the 3 greater potions.
oh yeah, do I have anything?
So, as you all stand there whispering, wondering, 1, where the rest of your group went, and 2, what are you going to do about the monster that's in front of you? Faustus seems to hold up a finger. Slowly bend down, pick up a rock, and throw it across the room. Specifically over here to your 9 o'clock. The rock hits the stones and travels across a couple of them, bouncing as it goes. And one of the Hydra's heads picks up and looks to where the stone landed. The other ones seem to slowly follow it, as they all leerily look to where the stone landed. Fausta turns back to you, holds up a finger to his mouth, and then points towards the door.
Overall, just kind of nods and like does the the exclamation of "Oh, I understand" quietly, where you like put the fist on the palm.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like, oh, I see.
I'm a nod and
Uh,
gives a thumbs up.
Very good. So at this point, for all of you to continue making the distance, you can either try your best to move quietly, or you can roll me stealth to move perfectly quietly. Basically, the idea would be either rolling a stealth check or rolling a dex check. And I'll leave it up to you.
I have one better.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Dust of Disappearance.
Very good.
Oh.
Enough of it for one use. When you use action to throw the dust in the air, you and each creature and object within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes. Duration is the same for all subjects, and the dust is consumed when the magic takes effect. If a creature affected by the dust attacks or casts a spell, the invisibility ends for that creature.
So that would make you invisible, but it would not make you deafened. So
Okay, so that may not be a good thing,
if
then.
you make big clunky noises with your feet, it's still gonna know where you are.
You don't have Pass Without Trace on this one, do you?
No, it's on my other one because fucking a certain druid that we know of had it, and it doesn't stack. So, yeah.
It happens.
Oh, wow.
So
Shall I be aggressive? I kind of want to be aggressive.
I mean, it's however you guys want to try and solve this problem. You are basically have a Draco Hydra between you and the door, and you feel that.
This door over here, right?
Yeah, you feel that you could probably make it, but as you guys look at this Hydra, as its heads are all kind of leering, and it just seems lethargic, almost, it just seems odd. And one of you, being specialized in monsters, could probably put an eye out. Hey, Jenna, next
Hi,
week.
hold on.
Next week.
Huh?
You're next week.
I thought that's what I thought, but I saw everyone in here keep.
Was that you, or did she leave?
No, she left.
Oh, okay. Left in mid fucking sentence. Like a Chad. Is that me? I feel like that's me. That is me. Okay, can I roll intelligence to recall information about it?
Yes.
And I would get that at advantage. Yeah?
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Well, that's what it says here. Come on, you have advantage on survival checks as well as intelligence checks to recall information.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, yeah, you get the advantage. Pull it. Roll it. Roll it.
Oh my god. Isn't it like right click to fucking roll with advantage? Why is it not working?
It should be. It should be a right click on the stat block. Or just roll two
Yeah.
and see which one's higher.
That works.
And don't forget, you can also do it on Owlbear if you want, instead of D&D Beyond if you know your modifier.
Yeah, it's totally not letting me roll right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, I'm not signed in. That might be why.
Oh.
I don't remember what I signed in with, so we'll have
Okay.
to do that next time. Okay, so
Okay.
Owlbear. That's just a D20, yeah?
Yeah.
Rip.
It should be this one.
Yes.
Bad.
All right.
Fucking.
So you roll
suck.
two, take the highest.
Yeah.
So that's your first shit one. So roll with your advantage.
My first shit one, because he knows my next one's gonna be shit too. Ooh, that would be a
yeah,
19.
no, that's not shit. What are you talking about? So, with that 19, you see that this Draco Hydra definitely is not exhibiting the same fearsome ferocity you saw of the black dragons you fought earlier a few months back when you're dealing with the gnome convoy. Those dragons, even though that they were juvenile, were significantly more aggressive and more tuned to their surroundings than what this Draco Hydra seems to be. This Draco Hydra seems to be almost non-aware of what's going on around it besides sound. And if you'd like to look for details, you get to roll me a perception.
By the way, it was that I wasn't signed in.
Ah. Silly dude.
Yeah, I'll DD Beyond, but let me roll because I wasn't signed in. said perception?
Perception, yes. Quiet.
Okay, regular or advantage or what?
Advantage because you got time.
$16.
Nice. So with that 16, looking at it, you see again that weird bluish ichor coming down off its scale. Seems just coming from every part of it. It seems to be seeping out of its ears, its ear holes, because reptiles have holes for ears, as well as coming out of its eyes, from around its eyeballs specifically. Its eyes themselves look almost grayed out, like foggy. There's no sign of an iris or a pupil as the heads lethargically swing back and forth, looking for the thing that made the sound. You assume, from what you can tell, that this Draco Hydra is blind. What blinded it? Uncertain, but it is blind. Use that information how you will.
I has an idea. So, totally did that wrong. Just backed out of fucking elevator, excuse me. So I has Hunter's Quiver, yes?
You do have Hunter's Quiver.
I have Explosive Bolt, yes?
That you do.
I fire Explosive Bolt here. We run here.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna use my longbow for that. And I'm guessing rolling a hit for that. Yeah. Or am I rolling something else for it?
You're just firing at a location, right?
Yeah, firing like anywhere over
yeah,
here.
I mean, you're not going for a gold medal. You're just trying to fire in a direction. So, and you're more professional that you shouldn't miss. So, I'll just say that you do it.
Okay. Just gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm firing at a wall, right?
Uh-huh.
If I miss, I'm just gonna hit another wall.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Right?
You just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Just do it.
It'd be different
Okay,
if you're
so
like,
fire
I want to hit
explosive.
a specific spot on that wall. Like if you're trying to knock it down, it'd be like, no, you gotta see if you can actually do it. But if you're just like, I'm just yeeting it in that general direction, then you're just gonna
Yeah,
yeet in that direction.
Over here to turn his attention.
Yeah, and Faustus sees you pull back on your hunter's quiver and pull out the large arrow that is representative of your explosive bolts. And he sees you take aim at the wall. And his eyes get really large in his head as he stares at you doing this. As he almost holds out his arm to be like, don't do that, as you release. And you see the arrow fly past the Hydra and hit the wall and detonate. And the Hydra's immediately taken by the sound, as one would imagine. All of its heads immediately point to the point of the explosion. And you start to see that its heads rear back, retching noises coming from as it's trying to summon its breath attacks. And as you start to run, Rage, you see as you are running away that the breath attacks that are coming from this dragon, again, having dealt with these dragons before, or at least cousins of them to be specific, you know what the chromatic breath looks like. What comes out of this dragon is not a chromatic breath. It almost looks like a blue sludge from all of its heads that spew forth, slam into the wall, and just slick down the wall to the ground, and then seem to seep back in to the pool that it's sitting in.
Lovely.
But with that explosion going off, you go with your plan and you begin to run. So,
Son of a bitch. Anybody have any lightning magic? Doesn't Falsta?
Mm,
I think he has Thunderous Smite, but that's thunder damage, not lightning. I don't think he has
Shit.
a straight lightning attack.
Or any kind of electricity?
No, most of his stuff's
I have
radiant.
lightning
You do?
with my assault battery.
He does have his assault battery. He does have his big fisticuffs.
So, hear me out. Big pool of water, yeah?
What you believe to be water, yes.
Big pool of bluish liquid that looks like water, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lightning does what to what we believe is water?
Shocky, shocky.
Shocky. Quick question,
Yeah.
Mr. DM.
Yep.
I have stunning arrows. Are those like flashbangs?
Yeah, they're closer to flashbangs.
Okay, so when it goes off, it audible noise.
Very, very loud audible noise.
Okay. Have we moved at all since I?
I was gonna move you guys in just a second here. So basically, you fired your explosive arrow, and I would say for its attention, it would probably have its attention for probably a good 15 seconds until it stopped hearing things. So you all move. I think all of you move. Kovral moves 25, or do you move 30?
Let me double check. I move 30 now.
Move 30 now. So I would say that you guys get, in that time period that it's distracted, you get basically almost to its 3. Like you made a good chunk of distance as it started going aggro, as you just hauled over this few seconds to get to the next point. And you can see that you are about 20 feet or so from the pool of unbeknownst liquid. And the Draco Hydra has stopped attacking the wall and is now swinging its heads, looking for a sound.
Okay, so we here, Hydra here, pool of what we think is water here. Do you want to go for it, Finny?
Trying out the You know, before I go for that too, just on the off chance it twists, I'd rather you guys at least be a little farther if I do try this.
Okay. I don't
Because
think
I
I've
also have
used-
55 movement, so I can book it.
Hey, I'll be honest. I don't know with my like stunning arrows if I've used I can't remember that far back. This says I get 3 uses per day. So we still
I
gonna-
don't think you use your stunning arrows at all, honestly, when you got into the ruins.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
I think I've only used it
using those.
once the entire time I've had them.
Yeah, I think it was mostly on other players. I don't think you ever used it.
Yes.
I don't think you've ever used it as like an offensive capability, which is hilarious, but also very fair.
No, I did do it once. The first red wizard that we faced
Oh yeah,
when we had
yeah.
that 2 that day.
That guy.
The first one I did, and then pretty sure Tovar like beheaded him after that, or someone did. Anyways,
Someone did.
cool. So you want us to get farther away? So
Yeah, just because I'm good with running.
I'm gonna fire one of those arrows anywhere over here, one of the stunning arrows,
Yeah, easy enough.
so that we can make it a little bit further.
All right.
Yeah, you see the Draco Hydra's attention is pulled once more towards the sound of the stunning arrow as it tries to release another torrent of the blue sludge. It's very nasty. It's very gross.
I just
What'd you say, Stealth?
Sorry, I was thinking out loud.
Ah, very good.
All right, let's see if we
Because I
hear
was
this.
just
Can we hear
looking.
this? You guys ready for this? Ah, nice bottle pop. Dude, I could not find that quest in, by the way. I looked for it everywhere, could not find it.
Hmm.
That whiskey that Matthew Lillard makes.
So then
Look for
after
it hard,
they
dude.
move up more, like get to that door, I want to do the shocking.
Yeah, where are we
Yes.
at now?
So the stun arrow wouldn't catch its attention as strongly as the explosive, but it definitely seems to have caught its attention enough where the other three individuals have been able to move almost to its one, about 30-40 feet from the door. As
I want to say I moved like closer to the water. If you're good
Yes.
with that. Well,
Yeah.
they did that.
go ahead. You find yourself at the edge of the pool in the center of the room. The Hydra is currently attacking where the sound it believed came from, unleashing a torrent of ichor and sludge in a direction of its choosing. You stand on the precipice of a stone wall that separates the liquid from the stone on the platform that you find yourself. You know you have a few seconds to make a decision before it starts to look once more, and hopefully doesn't find your friends. So now, Finrod, the man of the hour, what are you going to do about it?
I would like to use one of my charges to use an assault battery into the water. Or liquid that I believe is water.
Also, as he does this, I want to ready another explosive arrow.
Yeah, so Rage,
Just in case.
you get your distance. You see Finrod at the corner of the water at the edge, and you prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. Finrod, you go to activate your batteries, and you see how big this pool is. You know it's going to take more than just one charge to really push
I have
this energy across.
It's what? But I have a total of 6, right?
Yes.
I'm blanking now.
A total of 6.
Yep. Let's just use them all.
All right. So, now we're going to roll a quick percentage. $39. Wonderful. Just double check your stuff because I want to make sure that it's being used. All right. So, you dump this energy into the gauntlets. So, I need you to actually roll me a... Oh, no, that's what your tools. Never mind. That is a whole nother set of potatoes we're not going to deal with. So, you activate all 6 of your charges. This is the first time in your memory where you've activated the entire potential of these gauntlets. You remember hearing stories of what the lion could do when wielding these massive tools of destruction.
Oh, I want to segue you into something, but I'm not sure if I should.
What were you trying to segue me to?
The lion, the witch, and the what?
The audacity of this bitch. It's me, Frieza.
That Frieza with an eye?
With an E. Ah. So, you feel the energy pouring out of these gauntlets. You're putting your entire presence, your entire aura, the switches all clicking in unison as you aim your mighty golden fists down towards the pool that sits in front of you. And you plunge them into the liquid below. As soon as your fists hit it, you realize that it is not water. It is too thick, too viscous. And you start to hear what seems to be to an equivalent of screaming from the liquid that you're hitting with your gloves. Almost like steam escaping from a thick stew, if you will. You continue to pour your energy into it. You start to see the lightning and the other energy particles begin to crackle across the surface of the pool. It slowly moves across, more steam vents and bubbles starting to pop up. The silent scream starting to pronounce itself more, until it finally starts to creep up towards the Hydra. Whereas the lightning hits it, your energy cell is getting close to depletion, as now your gauntlets are screaming. Almost as if a motor is being pushed to its upper limits. You hold on for dear life. You have trained hard enough to simply carry these gauntlets, to find yourself worthy. And so you're going to use them. The lightning begins to crackle up the scales of the monster. It hearing your presence, already too late to stop you. It starts to turn its body, but not before the electricity crackles through its skin, as you start to see the steam pockets begin to walk up its scales where the ichor was placing itself in between. The monster begins to scream itself. The steam begins to outlet from its eyes, from in between its hinges and its armor, from its ears and other orifices that where the ichor has slowly moved in and become a part of the monster itself. Its body begins to tumble forward into the ichor. You pull your arms back away from the goo, from the jelly of sorts that has covered the gauntlets after your use. They seem to be heavier, but you continue carrying them, as you did not carry these for simple beating of the spirit. You carry these because you became strong enough to do so. So with the steam exiting the vents on your gauntlets, the pool ricocheting with the electrical bolts, and the hissing of the monster, it lays still for a moment, where Fausta, with eyes wide open, staring at what you've done, takes a moment and then points to the door and simply moves towards the iron gate, ready to pull it from its hinges.
I would walk up to assist.
You do so, and between the two of you, you start to make headway on it, as it begins to creak and pull. Rage, your ears pick up something. A sloshing noise. A gurgling noise.
I ready my explosive arrow.
You turn to see the Hydra slowly crawling towards you and your companions as you continue to try and wrench the gate from its hinges. It trying its best to make its way through the sludge it has trapped itself in, trying to get ever closer to the sound it can hear.
I want to fire the arrow at the Hydra while they're working on the gate.
Roll to hit as you hear Fausta saying, "Shoot it, please." As, "My hands are a little busy."
It's crawling, right?
Essentially, yes.
Does that mean it's prone?
No, it is not prone. It's
Damn it,
crawling
I
as
tried.
it's,
I fucking
it's not
tried.
floating.
I tried.
Yes. It's a
That's a
huge
27
creature.
anyways.
Yeah, I knew you were still gonna hit it. You don't need the advantage. You don't need the bonus points.
Bro, nat 20 would have been nice. Just saying.
He wants the extra roll for the crit.
I mean, listen, I'm right there with him, honestly. I love those hidden crits. They're so fun. But yeah, so you launch this explosive arrow, you slam it into the monster as the sound ricochets outward, tilting it back as it begins to fall back into the pool. A scream is heard, and you see the hole that you've made in its chest from where your arrow landed true seems to be peculiar, if anything.
God damn it, racist. Oh.
Rexus, are you being gross over there?
No.
I'm just being dumb.
I just got the last one out of my head.
You didn't get the one in your head from what he said while I was doing that?
Which one?
No.
I already got it out of my head. I don't want it back.
No, you gotta say it now.
Nope, I got it out of my head completely.
Fair.
Stealth is like, you can't pull me back in.
I'm as smart as my character right now.
Indeed. Oh dear.
So the hole that you
One of these-
created with your
One of these
explosive
sessions,
arrow- Uh-huh.
I was saying, one of these sessions, I'm just gonna speak in fucking song lyrics the whole time.
I'll make it a challenge.
Oh,
You'll be cursed or something where you have to speak in song lyrics, and it's for everyone else's punishment.
hey now.
You're
Are
a
your
rock star.
arms going to be wide open for that challenge?
Dude, oh, that's the one you were talking about? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So the reason I didn't have that song stuck in my head is like, oh man, if Creed was here, it'd be fucking perfect. When I was wide open, I was like, oh, it would have been great, but he wasn't here.
Yeah, so you fire the arrow into the beast, and the hole that you created with your arrow, it does not seem to exude blood. It seems to exude a large volume of that sludge that not only it fired at the sounds that you use as a distraction, but also just what seems to be pouring out of every part of this monster. And you start to have a sudden realization. That this monster died long ago. And that it's not really alive. It's being piloted.
Okay, so I totally didn't get, like, call that. I call something different, but kind of similar at the same time.
It seems what seems to be piloting it is a very large and very old jelly that had taken residence in this pit and hasn't been able to leave until a Draco Hydra fell into it. So through that hole, you see that its body is almost completely hollow. The only thing holding together seems to be the pressure of the jelly against its scales, moving it like a suit full of jelly, to be specific, if you want to get into technical terms.
Mm.
But with that explosive arrow, you seem to have diverted its attention significantly as Fausta continues to pull on the door with Kavral until you both feel the door come off its hinges with a ping. and you see that sunlight is beaming through the far end. And Rage, as you hear the ping from the door telling you that it's now open, that escape is ever closer, you see that the other heads of the Hydra seem to have become upset as they start to rear back, that deep gargling noise starting to emanate from all of their throats as you see the level of the pool begin to drop.
Oh,
Um. hmm. You know what I haven't gotten to touch in a while?
What?
It's time for the 50. I want to pull out my Terror's Reign.
All right, and what's your plan?
See, it's a Hydra, so if I hit it in the head, like 3 come back, right?
Well, a regular Hydra, yes.
This Hydra question mark?
This is a Draco Hydra. They don't work the same way.
Okay, I want to hit it in the face.
I mean, yeah, you can hit it in the face.
Let's hit it in the face.
Roll the hit in the face.
22.
That's a hit in the face.
That's a hit in the face.
So you fire this round out, and it finds its mark on one of the other heads. As you see, Finrod is trying his best to get back to you guys. Kavral is opening the gate. Fausta is helping him and is leading the way out, yelling back that there is an escape route. There's a way to leave. And as you see the Draco Hydra begin to reel back its head, you see that it's going to be causing a problem if no one's able to stop it, or at least halt it. And so you fire this big old cannon of yours at it, hoping to do something, to stun it, to kill it, to hold it back. And you see that round collide as it takes back one of the jaws that was aiming at you, and as it just sloths back into the soup, the pressure inside of it keeping it standing up is now gone. But as the other 3 heads continue to point at you, the goo starts to drip from their maws as the pressure continues to build. You feel like that it may be a good time to warn your party members of what may happen.
Guys, it's time to run.
Oh no.
So,
oh shit!
at
Alright.
that point, I'm going to need athletics from everybody.
And that's true.
Oof. I'm gonna use a lucky on that. Man, my lucky was much better.
Oh no. Okay.
Well, I was a nat one originally.
Oh,
All right, so what do we get?
13.
Ooh, 25.
25?
Oh, I got a 9.
A 9. So you all begin to run out as Fausta points the way, saying, "Run for the door. The opening is in the cliff." He makes sure you're all through. As he stands back, as he sees Finrod having issues moving, his gauntlets seeming to be heavier. As you see Fausta reach through the gate, grab Finrod by the scruff of his shirt, and yank him through with him. As you see the Hydra release this spray from its mouth.
Damn it. Oh, Rice is on a roll. I'm sorry. I can't unhear that now.
Unhear what?
I heard it. Now you had to.
God damn it!
What? What happened?
He
Now?
says, "Shoots off head, Hydra, balloon deflating sounds."
I hate it. I hate it.
Oh, just fantastic.
So Fausta pulls you through Finrod as you all exit the cliffside, falling back down into the sun and the grass that you left when you went into the ruins. As the blue gel, the jelly, flies past you into the pasture, beginning to eat away and burn the grass where it landed. You find yourselves alive once more. Now back in the sunlight, it seems that you have accomplished the goal of finding the third artifact.
Well, I suppose that could have gone worse.
I think we were definitely ready for that jelly.
Well, that makes more sense of what was screaming when I was shocking it.
Eh?
Because all of that was the jelly then, right?
Yep, the entire pool was the jelly. So when you were shocking it, you were hurting it pretty severely.
Hey, is it just me or does Burn sound defeated already? Like, why the fuck did
Oh,
I
not
start
defeated.
this back up?
No.
It's not defeated, it's more of thinking and also trying to fix something while I'm at it. It's being very annoying and I'm not liking it. The thing doesn't want to go where the thing's supposed to go, and it's very frustrating. But regardless, you find yourselves now in the fields of the Setlands, where you met Fausta previously. And now you know that there's but one artifact left, the Circlet of the Magos. And you know that's where you must go next.
The Circlet of the Whaty?
The Magos. Basically, a powerful magic user.
Yes.
So, being done here in the Setlands, you finish it, and Fausta tells you that he believes he knows where the Mago Circlet is. He says he got a strange letter about some very supernatural occurrences that were happening in Albion, a large fortress city to the southeast. He says the records that were being sent to me, the letters and what was in them, pointed towards something of unholy attendance was causing problems. He goes, I'm not sure what. The people there believe it to be the work of both a miracle worker and a demon. It seems that loved ones have begun being returned, and no one seems to understand why. Yes, but we can only get so much information from a letter, so we might as well go see it for ourselves. I know the town of Albion was underneath heavy siege for quite some time. There was an attack led on it from raiders as well as troopers of the Mad King. What has become of it now is uncertain, but according to this letter, it at least still stands. But I believe that's where we must go next.
Why does it sound familiar?
As long as we don't run into that person asking for a crazy shroom again.
Thankfully, he has published his paper and has left Broken Earth. Hopefully he will not be asking for my mushrooms.
Indeed.
Y'all did shrooms?
No, the living mushroom. You guys had to escort.
Did
Hey,
you not hear that day?
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, you're being sarcastic. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so
That
we
sarcasm
totally-
even caught me off guard.
Totally thought the redheaded kid going, y'all are doing shrooms? Like that. Yeah. The meme.
I mean,
It was
now that you
terrible,
say
too.
it, I get it. But it was just like in the beginning, it's like, I mean, do you not remember the living mushroom that tried to eat you, like you specifically?
No, I'm still wondering if there's going to be a priest that I'll be in with, another character named Rose. I'm thinking right
I mean, maybe if you just stop guessing my stuff.
now. Look, it is not my fault that this sounds exactly like the plot of Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, it's not. Thanks. Anyway, Faust says that it's an hour or so back to Setland, where we have the carriage, where we should be able to easily ride to Albion and get there by the end of the day before the night falls. That would give us the most time to go and try and truly see what exactly is happening, and hopefully find some answers to why. And so you all do so. You all find yourselves jumping into the carriage and riding it back to Albion, trying to hopefully find out why everything has been going on and why Fausta has received a letter of such importance from someone he doesn't truly know.
How long should this ride take?
Long enough for you to do a long rest, if that's what you're wondering.
I've been calling out your shit. It's fair that you call out mine.
I know what my players want.
Gal 8?
Not yet. You don't get that cool stuff yet.
My God. Look, I just want to Burt, okay? Just let me Burt.
Just let me Burt. DM, I just want to be an A10 for a day. Let me Burt.
They call me the Warthog.
Why do they call you that? Burt.
Burt.
So you all have a long rest on your way to the town or fortress city of Albion. Once you arrive, you see outside of the city that there has been at least some activity to some level of a fight happening. Whether it was raiders or the Mad King is hard to tell. But what you can definitely tell is that there was conflict. There was death. But it seems cheery, almost. You see people walking around like nothing had happened, walking through burned ruins of old buildings without much of a second care. You see couples.
You don't have mods, do you? Sorry, I know I'm bothering you, but you don't have mods, do you?
I have a couple, but they're just not on right now.
Oh. What a banhammer, that fucking thing.
Which thing? Did
The
something else
last
pop
chat
up?
that you have?
I thought I already deleted it.
he did.
Oh, I can still see deleted messages, so.
Ah. I was like, I
My
thought
bad.
I thought I already took care of that. I thought I already nuked it.
I apologize. I was just
You're good.
going back to everyone's stuff to type back in.
But yeah, so you see like couples walking around and pointing out gravestones. But there doesn't seem to be crying or sadness involved. It just seems to be happiness, almost relief. And it's widespread throughout the city. You're seeing people walk around and just be much happier than what you guys are used to, since, you're currently fighting this tyrannical monster that lives in the necropolis who wants to take over the planet, in this case the world. And everyone just seems to be not giving an absolute shit about the problems. Even Fausta is taken aback by it and goes, well, this is much odder than I imagined it was going to be. I don't know what I expected, but it was not this. Why do they all seem so happy? Unnaturally happy.
Well, your letter did say that loved ones were coming back, right?
That's what the letter said, but I wouldn't believe it if I haven't seen it myself. This warrants investigation, as if something is bringing these back, it could either be, well, necromancy, or a miracle has occurred. In either case, it needs to be at least understood. Make sure it's not something that can be abused or used against the people that live here, as they've already suffered enough. And so he has the carriage pull over to one of the taverns in the center of the town. As he has the carriage pull over, he just looks all around and sees these happy couples and people who just seem to be existing without a care, as if everything was reset in their minds. He just shakes his head at it and goes into the tavern, hoping to find maybe answers or a clue to what's really going on in this town. And you find yourselves, the three of you, still in the carriage. What would you like to do?
I still want to just make sure everything's good with the gauntlets after that.
They seem fine. And they don't seem heavier or malfunctioning to what you can tell. But they almost seem relieved. An odd feeling to have from inanimate objects.
Wait, so you're telling me that people are walking around with gravestones really happily? What?
What I'm saying is they were walking past, they were looking at gravestones, and they were
okay, walking past them.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought you meant they were carrying them around for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Like there were couples standing in front of gravestones and looking almost relieved. It's almost as if someone was supposed to be there but isn't.
Okay.
Or they just got a really big inheritance. They're like, yeah, fuck you, Grandma. Ha ha. Sorry.
Wow.
Also, that Charmander email is like my favorite fucking thing ever. Rexus.
It is a goodie mode.
It's I think it's Frankfurter Z. I think is what it is. But it's Charmander chasing his tail.
Very good.
Yeah, love it.
Better TTV.
Oh, it's better TTV. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys doing
Okay.
while you're in the
Gravestones, people happy. Uh, can we roll something here?
What would you like to roll?
Maybe insight
I mean, that's a good start. I'll take
on
it.
why they're happy. All right, I'll roll it. That'd be a 14.
So with the 14 is you just look around with your special ranger eyes, because you're just as confused as everyone else. You don't know what the fuck's going on. It's it's eerily happy. It's not happy like, oh, I just got paid happy. Like, these people are creepy happy, overly happy. And so you start looking at them and trying to find out what's going on. And you can see that most of them are legitimately happy with the situation they're in. And you start seeing that it looks like it may be just that their loved ones are coming back. You see a few of them have matching wedding bands on their hands, and they just seem to be really happy to see each other. And you really can't connect the dots, but on the surface, it definitely looks like just that their loved ones came back somehow.
Dude, this is just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. These people are just genuinely happy looking at a gravesite. I don't understand it.
You know, this is as weird as that one town.
I mean, you might have to be a little more specific there.
What was it? That was a succubus at that town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Where, oh god, I forgot Carson's character's name. I'm so blanking
Eris?
on that. Eris.
Yeah, when you went to Mormon Central.
Yeah.
Oh, where they were all happy to die
Yep.
Yeah.
and looking forward to it.
Yeah, all the old people.
Yeah. I mean, that was definitely strange. This is just like I'm imagining people laughing at a funeral. That's a little bit more weird for me.
Ooh. It's a little darker.
Right? Like a fucking bare naked ladies song in here.
As you guys are just stepping out of the carriages, kind of looking around as you're trying to process information, Fausta comes barreling out of the tavern, holding multiple sheets of paper in his hand. And he goes, "Follow me, now."
All right.
Okay.
And he starts hustling down the street towards what looks to be a standalone cemetery.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know we were sprinting. Okay, let's go.
He gets to the gate and nearly pulls it off his hinges, him trying to keep his pace going into the cemetery. As he stops at the first gravestone, you see a couple just sitting there laughing at it, almost giggling, I guess is a better onomatopoeia for it. Fausta stands about 10 feet back from them, and he looks to all of you and quietly points and in a hushed voice goes, "Do you see those two over there laughing at that headstone?"
Hey.
Yeah, we've been wondering why they're laughing.
He pulls up these two pieces of paper that are back to back, and he shows it to you and goes, "They're both supposed to be dead." So says the obituaries as of a week ago.
A week ago?
They look really healthy right now.
Yeah.
And he suddenly points out towards the street where you see a father with his daughter and his wife as they're walking. He points at that family. He goes, that man lost his wife and his daughter in the same raid 2 weeks ago. And now they're playing hippity skitch and skipping stones and walking through the town as if nothing happened. Like none of them remember what occurred.
I'm sorry, Fausta. Hippity skitch?
It's an old Goliath game. We used boulders and small children.
Okay. It was a quick recovery, I'll give you that. Well, if they're supposed to be dead, how are they on the street playing?
That's the question that I'm posing to you as well. Because this screams of necromancy. But the issue with necromancy, as we've seen, when we had to fight those ghouls, is that they become corpses.
Yeah, they're alive. They're not zombies, dude. I'm so confused.
The only thing that could do this is very powerful magic. Not even that of a wish spell could do something of this magnitude. Maybe one person, maybe 2, 3, but not the entire village. He goes, you don't even want to see the rest of these papers. The rest of this stack is just from the week before. It's half the town's population on the west end. That's the end we passed through to get here. They're all alive and kicking, as if, again, nothing happened.
But that doesn't make any sense. Are you sure that these are real obituaries? They're not forgeries? They're not like somebody playing a game with them?
Having been the one to send letters home to the soldiers' families, yes, these are real. The coroner's signature is authentic. These are posted. I've even seen these papers come back to us when we are looking at casualties from the raids. These are real papers. These are real people's names. Yet they stand here, playing with their families as if they were never buried, as if they were never slain. This means that it was right for us to be here. The only magic that I know of that can do this is that circlet. But now begs the question of where.
These two people that we're staring at, or that we were staring at before, is that their gravesite?
Yes, that is where they were buried. But you can see it was not exhumed. They were not taken out of the ground and brought back to life. They're just here.
How was that
Yeah,
possible, though?
Well, yeah, like
As I said, there was only one thing that I can imagine that can do this. But if whoever has it is doing it to this magnitude, this peace may not last as long as they hope for. We must not speak about it in the open lest they hear us. Quickly, back to the tavern, post-haste. We will derive a plan once we're there.
do you want to ask them what happened?
No, because if you ask them, they would not remember.
Okay, that's fair.
So he brings you back to the tavern. He finds a corner booth for the four of you, sits down, and pulls out the book where he's been scratching notes and locations of the different artifacts that you've been hunting. He points to the last one, known as the Circlet of the Magos. He goes, by category, it's not the most powerful relic, but it has the most potential. It required a steady hand and an understanding of the magic behind it. It was wielded by a Cornelius Sanguine, a cleric of 400 years ago that originally sealed away the Mad King. All of these artifacts belong to one of the party that sealed that monster away the first time. Hence why we need them now to seal them away for good. Cornelius was a good cleric from the records that I've seen. He was very empathetic. He trained modern medicine, or what would be considered modern, to those around him. He took care of the unincluded, the isolated, the outcasts. He was a true man of the cloth, if you've ever seen one. Until he went to the necropolis. It's said that he lost something that day, as he watched the world around him burn. He chose to use what power he had to take back what was his happiness, his content, his reason. He watched an entire city burn to the ground by the same magic you saw strike Saints Welcome and Macragge when you first arrived. He watched families of people that he had protected, that he had raised, be evaporated in a single puff of magic. I don't know how, as the records do not state how one uses this circlet. But it says that Cornelius resurrected that entire town, and that none of them had a recollection of it. But something happened the day Cornelius passed. The town burned itself back to the ground, seeming to correct what was done. Which makes me worry about the situation we find ourselves in here. That whoever has this circlet, whoever is committing this act of empathy, they don't know what lies on the other side of that connection. So what are we going to do about it?
Well, I mean, first things first, we got to find them, I guess.
Yes, we must find them to some extent. All I know from what is here is that the circlet is not extravagant. It looks rather plain. But there must be something of detail in this tome of mine that gives me some kind of answer to what I'm looking for. Some page, some passage, some story. As he continues to flip through the pages, just frustratingly faster, looking through every word, every layer, as he continues to come up empty-handed with details to find it. It was like, just can't seem to find an answer. Until he finally just closes the book. The dust from the pages rising into the air and then settling slowly back down onto the table. It was fine. If the book does not have answers for me, then we must find our own. Cornelius was empathetic. If he brought all those people back, he must have been holding in either a great pain or was shouldering the pain of theirs. So we find someone who seems to be, well, in mental anguish. And possibly they'll have the circlet. And we just keep going down that path till we find the person. There must be a dot we're missing, a connection somewhere. But I believe we're on a timetable. If they have been bringing people back for the past 4 weeks, I don't know how much longer they'll be able to hang on.
Well,
Right.
let's get to it then, I guess.
Yeah, what do we do first?
Well, if you were in mental anguish, where would you go?
Where would I go specifically, or
You, Rage. If you were in mental anguish, where would you go to soothe your pain?
I would go to a shooting range, but yeah, I'm also a ranger, so probably not where everyone else would go.
Okay. Anyone else have another idea? Let's just start throwing things to see if they stick. There can't be an infinite number of things in this town. There has to be some kind of limiter.
An empathetic individual who is suffering mental anguish, I'd say
Man.
checking the temple or perhaps any of the medical facilities would be a good place to start.
I imagine if they had shown themselves to those of the cloth here, it would have ended poorly for them. As I imagine they did not take lightly to common folk being resurrected. But it wouldn't be a bad place to at least start. And then medical, maybe. Another good place, but I imagine we'd find too many of those suffering. But we can always try. Finrod, you haven't spoken. Where would you go
Yeah, no.
if you were in mental anguish?
I was accidentally muted. I was saying a brothel.
A brothel. Well, I don't think they have one of those here, but they do have bars. Will that also be a place that one would go to fix their mental anguish?
That was going to be the
Okay.
next place I said.
Brothel, he said. Oh my god.
Well, we are sitting in one, so let's all go take a walk and see what we can see. Maybe we're closer than we imagined? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I can't get over that one. That was a shock. I love it. It was great.
I mean, it is a fair response. Just isn't
No,
what we're
absolutely.
looking for. So, in that instance,
Oh, I feel like Steve Harvey right now. That's the greatest answer I've ever heard.
I feel like Steve Harvey staring off into the distance like, man, that's a really good one.
It's the greatest answer I've ever heard. Oh shit. Just fuck the pain away.
Freud would be proud.
Oh my god.
Freud is clapping in hell where he belongs.
Oh Jesus! No! His fucking corpse reanimated for 3 seconds to clap for that one.
The corpse came back just to clap and then immediately passed into dust.
Jesus.
Indeed.
That's just
Oh,
fucking
dear.
fantastic. I am so sorry, but it is just absolutely fantastic.
Rage is stuck on that answer. He is seriously being Steve Harvey. He was
Bro,
like,
I am-
Man.
Oh, I could make a whole Family Feud episode on that. That was just
A whole Family Feud episode.
I mean, I wasn't expecting it, first of all.
Oh.
Zendif. Yeah. Thank you, Zendif. I will hydrate. Yes. So, he asks all of you to just kind of go to the corners of the bar, scour what information you can, see if anyone sticks out or is odd. You know, just we're looking for someone who's suffering greatly, both mentally and emotionally. It starts to show after a while on a physical level, so they gotta be here somewhere, or if they're not here, we go to the next one. And so Fausta takes off in one direction, and the rest of you choose your own.
I'll just go walk off to northeast corner if that's not where Fausta went in the bar.
Sure. You go up to that corner, and
Yeah.
you see a few barflies. Some people who are definitely drinking a little too heavy for the certain time, but most of the people that you're actually looking at look happy. That unnatural happy you were seeing outside. You could probably roll insight to see if what they're feeling is what they're showing.
What was the roll again? I'm sorry.
Insight.
Insight.
Oh, I feel like I should tell my dad joke.
13.
So
I'm still on the brothel thing, by the way, just FYI. Here, I'll tell this joke real quick, and then you can do it.
Go for it.
What do you call kids born in a whorehouse?
What?
Brothel sprouts.
God. No. No. Not allowed.
Oh, thank you, TikTok.
God bless it. It's the worst. So,
Oh dear.
yeah, so with that, you see that most of the people that are around you currently are showing their true emotions. They do seem to be happy. They're not faking it, so to speak. Which then brings us to Rajay, to Raj, to Rage. In your corner, your area of the bar that you are putting your eyeballs on, you see that there are some people in different booths, some couples, some families, a couple of people by themselves, but not a whole lot. Most of them seem happy. Again, that unnerving, very happy type of feeling you're getting from them that you got from the outside. The other two people that are sitting by themselves, less so. But they don't seem sad. They just seem content. And it's just odd. Just a very odd mixture of folks.
I mean, I'm sorry. In my world, content is like fucking leagues above what I actually feel every day. That would be very happy to me.
They're kind of just chilling. How about that? They're just vibing in the booth.
They're neutral?
They're neutral. Yeah, they're neutral. They're not happy. They're not sad. They're just kind of They're having a pint. They're having some pretzels. If you like to see if they're proving truthfully, I need an insight roll.
I was thinking about going to talk to them.
Oh, I mean, that is also something you can do.
I think that might be a little bit different, a little bit change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go talk to them.
So who are you talking to first? You talking to the really happy folks or one of the two content people?
No, we're gonna talk to the content people because you said the happy folk, or Fausta said that happy folk wouldn't remember why they're so happy or remember what happened. So we're gonna talk to the people that are content.
All right. So you go up to the first guy, and he seems to be a military officer of sorts. His uniform is displayed proudly on his body, even though the front of it is wide open. He seems distressed and tired, as exhaustion seems to be pulling at its strings. And he just kind of sits there, staring off into the distance, drinking the pint of lager that's in front of him. He sees you approach and goes, "Hail, Ranger. I didn't expect a visitor. How can I be of service? Lieutenant Jacob Shamwell."
Good day, Lieutenant. Here for your thoughts.
If you so want, it's a bit of a bittersweet day for me in this bar of mine.
Well, what was bitter about it? What was sweet about it?
Well,
As I motioned to the waiter.
the waiter brings over another pint in but a moment, and Lieutenant just sits there and goes, "Well, I imagine you've seen all these happy folks around here. All these families and such being back together.
That I have has been very curious to me.
As it is to I. As those that seem to have been brought back have been just civilians. People who were lost in the raids. But I've yet to see any of my platoon come back through these doors. Any of the soldiers that died defending this city.
So are you wondering why these people get to be so happy when you don't get to see your brethren yet?
I imagine that is. I was lucky, I guess. I was lucky during that fight that one of my sergeants, God's bless him, was stepped in front of an axe that was meant for me. I was the last one that lived after that fight. We stopped the advancement of the raiders. We stopped their progress. Able to push them back so the guns could finish them off. And as we stood amongst the carnage, I saw that my platoon was the ones that held the line. That they were the ones that did everything that I taught them to. Everything that I hoped that they would do. And they paid with their lives for it. But in the service of keeping these people safe, and they died to prevent more loss. But over the course of these few weeks, seeing that loss be almost in vain, as the people who we thought were gone have simply returned. No recollection of their death, of the pain they suffered, of the pain we suffered. Yet here I am, alone, at the bar, a lieutenant without soldiers, without family. So I can imagine that's why I'm so apathetic.
No, I completely understand that. We've lost several on our adventures, and they're not coming back either. So I completely understand where you're coming from. However, like, do these people just walk back into the town and just, hey, here I am? Like, where do they come from?
They didn't come from the grave sites. They didn't come from the battlefields. They just appeared. It was from one of the cases that I was privy to was a child walking up to the door of their parents' home and knocking on it, asking to come inside and if dinner was ready. It was 9 in the morning. But when I asked the parents of what their child's name was, I realized it was a child that was lost during an evening raid by some artillery fire by the absconding troopers that assaulted that day. So the child came back with no memory, almost as if they were just simply placed.
No realization of the time passed or any of the fact?
None. They thought it was still evening. I mean, once it seemed that they got their bearings, they realized that it was morning and not night, but for the most part, they had no recollection that time had passed at all.
Yeah, that strikes me as very strange. Very strange.
It's been the same for the adults as well. Old men waking up to their wives being at their door, wives that they had lost weeks ago to either the plagues or the sickness that had rampaged, things that they could not control, that they could not stop. Yet here they were, as if time itself had just forgotten its promise, and now placed them in front of them once again, as if nothing had occurred, as if no sacrifice, no tears were shed, nothing.
Hmm.
That goes
That is
for the
quite.
It goes for the same chap that's over the other booth. I've spoken with him a little bit today. He lost his family a few months ago, but unfortunately, he was away during the assaults. He was on an expedition team. He doesn't quite remember what they look like, and well, as you can see, they haven't come back either.
Hmm. You two have had quite the unfortunate times.
Yes, but as a soldier knows, is that sometimes it's best to let the mind sit. Eventually it will find its way back.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Keep your head up, Lieutenant, and have another beer on me. Thanks for the conversation.
Will do, Ranger. I appreciate the talk and the sentiment. Good luck on whatever it is that takes you forward.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you as well. So I want to walk back over to Fausta Fenrod and oh my God, why is your name escaping me, racist? What the
Coverall.
fuck? Coverall. Thank you. No, yeah. And just tell them basically what the lieutenant told me.
Yeah, so Rage essentially recollects what he found and passes it to you, so you all have the same information in your heads now of that it seems that military personnel are not being resurrected, and that if these certain people have forgotten the faces of their family, they also don't seem to come back.
So it's only those who can remember their loved ones that they have lost that get them back. Those who can clearly remember them.
That's what it seems, Cavron. But how would one differentiate between who's lost and who's lost more? That's the question that runs through my mind about who's currently carrying this circlet. That they're not here in the bar, that no one seems to be proficient or in serious anguish as what we've seen, just those that seem disappointed, content, confused. So why then is it seem to be selective? That begs the question of who's the wearer? And Fausta just kind of sits there with his fist under his chin for a minute. just muttering to himself of, who never truly understands loss?
An elf?
No, as he waves his hand off, he goes, an elf would eventually imagine loss. It just takes longer than the rest of us. Eh.
An orphan?
Mm.
Faust's eyes widen as he looks at Finrod and goes, not just an orphan, Finrod, just a child. A child does not understand loss like we do. Rage, you're the perfect example. You saw two men who seemed solemn, neutral, something that seemed odd to you in the surrounding areas. You sat with them. You had that empathetic connection. You opened them to you and vice versa. A child cannot do that. A child does not understand the heartache, the loss, the weight of the burden of that loss. And even more so would be an orphan who would not understand that things extend past a family, the one that they never had. Finrod, I think you're a goddamn genius.
That was much better than my suggestion.
I have my rare moments.
Fausta claps the table and stands up and yells to the bartender, Bartender, where is the nearest orphanage? As the room kind of stares at him for a moment, he goes, let me rephrase. I would like to adopt an orphan. Where is the nearest orphanage? And the bartender's eyes kind of return to normal. And he goes, points up the street to where the orphanage lays. And Fausta is up and is moving as something just seems to be pulling him along. He thinks something is in his head about this situation. And so he is gone. He's out the door and down the street. As I imagine the rest of you would follow.
Yep. I'll definitely be zipping out of there after that awkward moment at the end there.
Just,
oh, I'm out of here.
Oh, nope.
Just rubbing the back of my head, coming out with a grin, going, I was called smart.
He said
And
I was
I'm
a
dealing with the
genius.
struggles of shit that was in my mind.
And so you all
Oh.
see Fausta running down the street.
Thank God somebody talked. Jesus.
You all see Fausta running down the street as you catch up to him as he goes up to the orphanage. And you see as you approach that there are many, many families outside this orphanage. Way more than there should be, as it's an orphanage. And you see kids with parents and laughing and playing and messing around on the playground and just having a great time. Smiles can be seen from yards away. And as you approach, you see all these happy kids, and Fausta turns back and goes, there must be one who isn't happy. That is who we're looking for. And so he approaches the orphanage, waiting for the rest of you to catch up. He approaches what looks to be the headmistress and simply asks, I am a paladin of Etheria. Under the command of the military structure of Macragge, I'm here to find a child that may have acquired a lost artifact of strong powers that may be causing the chaos you see before you. The headmistress simply looks at him with questions of, what chaos? I see happy families and happy children. Fausta returning to her look and going, this is unnatural. These families were deceased, hence why there were orphans in your orphanage, why you were doing your job. So why would you just accept the fact that their families have somehow reappeared to take custody of those children? Doesn't that seem odd to you, headmistress? She seems to just shrug at the question. As you can tell, Fausta is getting more annoyed by the minute as this person who is seeing people raise from the dead and play with their children is just completely apathetic to his plight and not seeming to understand why this is a problem. He grunts in frustration and pushes past her towards the orphanage and goes, there must be someone inside. And so he enters. I imagine you all follow.
Yep.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze.
Bless
All
you.
good.
Thank you.
And indeed.
You all enter, and you see that the orphanage, as one expected, is quite empty. Significantly empty, to even say. And you find that there is no pitter-patter of feet, no yelling, no crying, no cries of joy. It's just quiet. Silence echoing between the halls and the dust that floats in between. Fausta holds up his hand as an aura appears around it. Almost a glowing blue compass appearing in between his fingers. As he rotates it around, looking for magic. It seems to point him in a specific direction, and he continues going down the western hall. As you all move down in that direction, the compass in his hand starts to frazzle. It starts to fade in and out and spin in all directions. As he, in frustration, just goes, curses! Well, I've lost the trail, but it's somewhere here. The circlet has to be in this building. Wherever it is, it's close. We need to find it. If a child has it, the time that we thought we had is less than we imagined.
Alright. I'll go search upstairs, I guess. If there is an upstairs.
So, currently in the hall you're in, you see that it is a one-floor orphanage with a number of rooms down this hall, all on the right-hand side. You see that a few of them are dormitories, bunk rooms, some are playrooms, and some doors are closed, not letting you see what's inside. All Fausta knows is that the object is down this way, and he is going to stay where he is to, one, try to fix his detect magic, and two, make sure nothing runs out past you. As if this is something with malicious intent, you need to stop it before it escapes. If it is something otherwise, then it's something you cross later. And so, you all seem to be aware that you're looking for probably a child with a magical circlet. How would you like to proceed?
You want to split up and check rooms?
Very short
I-
time frame. It probably would be best.
That's fair. All right. Well, I'll
I can
start
start at the
heading
end.
towards. Yep, I'll start with the closest room.
All right. So, Kavral, you check in the first room. You see that it's a bunk room. Pretty self-explanatory. A bunch of empty bunks and empty footlockers, where children who lived here did stay, but seem to all be outside. You don't see anything of major importance. It all seems to be, well, relatively empty and not really having much to deal with. So as Kavral explores, Finrod, what room do you step into? You see that there are 2 closed doors, 2 other dormitories, and some other smaller rooms scattered in between.
I'll go into the closed door.
You step
Either or.
to the first closed door, as it's simply closest. And you see that the door looks normal. It doesn't look like it's meant to hold anything in or out. It just has what looks to be blinds that work on the inside for the window. Give me perception.
That'd be at 25.
Hot damn. So, with that 25, you listen closely, and you hear what seems to be like soft crying from inside the room.
I want to motion to everyone and not be loud, just in case that, like, would make them notice.
Rage and Kavral, you will see Finrod motioning to you towards the door he is at. Fausto would see, but he's still dealing with his compass. He's very frustrated.
I head over.
I do as well.
So the 3 of you standing in front of the door, as Finrod motions you to it. The 2 of you, as you get closer, as the 3 of you remain very quiet, you can also now hear soft crying from inside the room that you stand in front of.
Well, seems as good a shot as any.
You guys want to go in, and I'll stand on guard in case he runs with my tentacles to pick him up.
All right. Cool. I will quietly open the door and peek in.
So you grab the handle and you see that it is unlocked. You gently twist it till you feel the tumbler pull, and you are able to gently open the door. Finrod steps back, prepping to make sure that if anything goes running, he can retrieve it. Rage, you stand behind Kavral as he opens the door, ever gently, and peeks inside. In Kavral, what you see is what looks to be a small bedroom that has been torn apart from top to bottom. The bed is flipped. The dresser is turned on its side, the drawers open, and the contents scatter across the floor. The room is dark. It has a window on the back of it that leads to the other outside of the wall, but the blind on it is also drawn. You see that there are food trays on what looks to be a rolling stand that you'd use to eat while being in bed. The food left on the countertop seems to be old and gross. The one that is on the roller seems to have been made fresh maybe a couple hours ago, but now looks dry and unappetizing. The distinct smell of gross hits you in the nose as the crying now becomes slightly louder. As you look in the corner, and there seems to be a shape of what you assume to be a child sitting against the corner of the wall, and with the light entering through the door that you open, you see the glint of bronze around their head.
I look back at Rage and give an affirming nod that this appears to be the person. And I kind of brace against the smell and walk in, I guess.
Yeah, so you brace yourself and you step into the room, your armor kind of clanking and resettling as you walk, as the eyes of the child turn and look upon you. And you can see that this child may have been healthy, but right now looks not well. Their skin is drawn, their body looks emaciated. They look like they could sleep for a week if given the chance. Their eyes are red from trying to cry, it looks, as they just seem to be sat in that corner. They assume to be a human of some sort, and for the most part seem to be, I would say, probably about 11, 12 years old, if I was to put a guesstimate on it. Their eyes turn to you as you walk into the room, the light reflecting off your plate mail, and they start to panic. They try to scramble further into the corner, seeing you, afraid.
I put my hands out, palms forward, to, show my hands that I'm not holding anything, and say, I am not here to hurt you. You do have something that we need to retrieve, though, and it does appear to be causing you considerable anguish.
The child looks at you for a moment as they begin to hyperventilate and try to calm themselves. They look at you and just ask the question of, where are they? After a couple moments of the question hanging in the air, they follow it with, are they at least happy?
The townspeople? Aye. But that happiness is temporary and comes at great cost to you.
Why didn't they come back?
I presume you tried to bring back your parents, but they did not return, whereas everyone else did.
As you step into the room a little more to get comfortable, you hear the sound of crunching glass underneath your left boot. You look down, and you see that there is a picture inside of what remains of a picture frame. The picture, unfortunately, is damaged significantly, but not by you. It seems that it has significant fire damage around the edges, where the faces of both the parents of this child are missing, and the only face that is still there in the picture is theirs. And if what Fausta said was true, you believe you understand the problem.
Child, you don't remember your parents' faces, do you?
You can see their eyes begin to strain as tears try to emerge but do not, as their body just seems to slump into a minor depression as they realize what's going on. Their voice kind of cracks a little as they try to reach out to you, saying, I don't, but I hear, I feel the happiness of everyone else. They always told me of what their parents looked like. They would show me pictures. They would show me what used to be, of who they were, what was taken. And I found this. I found this thing. And when I put it on my head, I heard a voice tell me that I could bring everyone back. I could make everyone happy. That was my wish. And so now I take the bad and they have the good. And I hoped that I would have good too. But it seems that I can't. And they seem to be grabbing at their head as they try to remove the circlet, and it doesn't seem to budge. They continue to try in desperation as they just keep repeating the words, I can't, I can't, I can't. And it becomes ever clearer that something seems to have been taken from them in exchange.
And so they're trying to remove the ring, sorry, not the ring, the freaking circlet, and it's not coming off.
It is not coming off their head, correct?
Can I attempt to dispel magic?
You can attempt.
Okay. Cast that. Okay. It's 10 plus the spell's level. What is the DC? Okay, so it's
So it's 10 plus the spell's level on my end. So go ahead and roll against that DC and I'll tell you if you pass.
okay. And sorry, that uses my spell modifier. There we go. It's only +1. Oh fuck. That's a net 20.
Very good. So, it doesn't give you an automatic success, but it does give you the best outcome. You slowly approach, opening your hand, as you course what radiant energy you have in you towards the circlet. You feel the tug and pull between the two forces inside of it. You feel as if there's two souls within this circlet. One of the child and one of an adult. You feel the magic that is binding them at this point, and you start to pluck at those strings, trying to dispel the magic that connects them, so that as if to remove the circlet, to ease the anguish of this child. And as you start to do it, you hear Fausta from outside yell, "Whatever you're doing, stop doing it!" As he rushes to the room, clunking as he runs.
I halt.
Yeah. He pokes his head in and goes, "Kovral, whatever you were doing, the parents started losing it. Something was not right. Everyone stopped moving. Their faces became twisted. And then once you stopped, they went back to being happy. I don't think we're here on borrowed time anymore." He looks to the child and goes, "Where did you find it?" The child simply looks up and goes, "During one of the raids, one of the churches was burned down. It was in a stone box next to, looked to be some bones that were broken. I didn't think anyone would miss it, so I took it. When I put it on, it told me what I could do." And Fausta's eyes, you've known Fausta for many months now. He's always been a stone-faced person, being a Goliath and being a paladin and seeing as much as he has. He's rarely lets things get in his head. In this instance, unfortunately, it seems that his face softens. His eyes seem to grow wide with sorrow or grief as he looks upon the child and goes, speaking to you, Kovral, and goes, "We have to wait. If we break the lines now, they'll revert. All the good this child has put into the world will do the opposite. Will rebalance the scales to what it was. If we wait, then there's a chance that it won't. That either it will stay and no longer proliferate further or simply disappear. But all I know is that the weight of this town's hurt is on that child's shoulders. And I don't know what else to do. This is a burden that even Cornelius did not wish to carry. And he is a greater man than I will ever be, to what I've seen and what I've heard of him. And so Faustus simply goes and sits next to the child and goes, I will stay. If any of you have ideas, I'm open to suggestions.
I want to cast Cure Wounds on the child.
Go ahead.
That'd be a third level. Is this one of rolling spell die, or is that the other campaign?
That's the other one. The other one.
Oh, okay.
So you do this. You step close and you pass your magic onto the child. And you see the body start to reform slightly. They begin to look less emaciated, their skin not as bruised, their eyes less sunken, the inflammation leaving, as they begin to become comfortable. They seem to look like themselves. And the child looks at you with eyes that just hold more sorrow than anyone should hold on to. All because of something they found, of something they wish to try and take back what was theirs, to take back a part of their life that was stolen. And it seems that the circlet hasn't loosened, but at least they're comfortable. And Fausta looks at you, Rage, and goes, You've cured their physical, but I don't believe that their mind will continue to take this burden.
But at least now they don't have to worry, or they don't feel pain from their body too.
That is true. That is very true. A smile cracks across Fausta's face. He goes, Child, have you ever played dragon chess? And he pulls out a small game board that folds up in and on itself with chess pieces inside. And he goes, It's been a while since I imagine any of us have really taken the time to sit and relax and be normal. Ever since McCrag, we have been at arms, at the throats of enemies or the throats of each other, trying to find what's right, to find what's correct and save it. I think if this is as good a time as any for the four of us to sit with someone who require us more than the world outside for a moment. What do you think?
It would be a nice change of pace.
Aye.
Well then, what say you, Rage? Shall you help me teach this child how to beat my ass in dragon chess?
Beat your ass. I don't think I'm going to last more than 2 turns.
We'll see. We have time. And so, for the next few hours, you all sit and enjoy life for what it is for but a moment. You play games, you sing songs, you ask them of what their interests are, what they've done. They show you pictures they've drawn and things that they've seen. They tell you stories of what birds they've cataloged and what different types of colors have gone past their windows and what the world outside looks like to them. The innocence of the child, reminding you that the world is bigger than you see and that not everything is as it seems. Eventually, a few hours pass. The headmistress comes through and sees the four of you sitting, talking with amongst yourselves and playing and learning different things from each other and what the child has told you. And she pokes her head around and goes, I see that you have done more than I think any of us could. That's the first time Andrew has smiled since he's been here. And all four of you turn to look and you see that Andrew is leaning against the wall. His eyes are closed, but a smile is across his face. The circlet is in his hand, having come off of his head, now resting on his lap. Fausta smiles to the headmistress and goes, "What about the other children?" She says that they're with their parents. It seems that a miracle has occurred. Fausta shakes his head and goes, "No, not a miracle. The last wish of someone stronger than myself." He stands quietly, packing up his dragon chest and his cards, fixing his belts and connectors of his plates. Dusts off his legs as he leans down, takes the circlet from the lap of Andrew, putting a small kiss on his forehead before walking away. You've never seen Fausta so distraught, defeated. A man who has stared the face of God and laughed walks out of the room quieter than you've ever seen him. The headmistress looks to...
I want
Go
to.
for
Sorry, real quick. I want to put my hand on his shoulder and like just kind of like let it brush off as he walks by.
You see him recognize that you were there, but he seems that his mind is somewhere else. The headmistress looks to the three of you and goes, "I know of him. I've heard the stories of the Goliath and the silver plate mail. I've heard of what he's done. And if your character is anything like his, as you've proven by being here, then you truly are the heroes of Etheria we've been looking for. I will speak to the elected officials and see what we can do for Andrew. I believe he has earned his place among where his family lies. He may not remember their faces, but I remember their names. And so she takes the bed sheet from his bed that has still been toppled and simply covers him. It picks him up and carries him out of the room. And the three of you are left standing there as you've seen a paladin be broken by a mantle he never thought he could carry. And you've seen the kindness of a soul that should never bear it. What do you do?
I strangle my DM.
That is allowed.
I think we need to go to the tavern and have a drink, guys, after that.
Yeah, I believe I owe a certain lieutenant another beer. First round's on me, guys.
You all step out of the room, heading back towards the entrance. You see Fausta is standing outside in the sunlight, holding the circlet in his hand. He goes, "I think you're right. I think taking that time to go sit and be with friends is going to be important. Because I swear upon everything I know, I'm going to make the Mad King pay. I'm going to make him regret having come back to this world and cursing all of us within it. But for now, we've won today. Even though I wish the cost wasn't so high. And you all walk to the tavern. You find the table. You bring over the two solemn gentlemen who are sitting by themselves. And you do the same thing that you did for the child. You give them what they don't have. Good times are had, drinks are had, stories are passed, games are played. You spend your time there to the wee hours of the morning until that you find yourself just sleeping in the booth. Over the course of the night, though your sleep is gentle and brings forth the rest you've been looking for, you're plagued by scenes of nightmares, whether have occurred or are looking to occur. You all see the same one. 4 spectral faces, a blackened door, an obsidian throne, a laugh from inside the darkness, a broken door, a burning castle. You all awake to the morning light. The nightmare is buried within your psyche, not being as prevalent as one would imagine, just flashes of light within your mind's eye. You see, Faustus is not with you at the moment.
My dog is dreaming. I don't know if you hear that in the background.
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was coming through or not.
As you all begin to stir, pulling yourselves up, you see that he's outside. He is standing, seeming to be talking into a stone that has a face carved into it. He looks to you with both a weary face but a cheerful grin as he says, "Well, we have found everything that we have been looking for. I think it's time we finish what we started. And I have just the idea on how to get there."
Is that stone what I think it is?
It might be.
Is that a headstone?
No, it's like a piece of rock in his hand that has
Oh,
a
okay.
head like carved into it.
No. Okay. I want no. That was gonna be the kid's headstone.
No. It's a sending stone for context. Like it's a communication
okay.
device.
Yeah.
He's speaking into it, and with, like I said, a weary face and a cheerful smile, he goes, "I just know how we're going to get to the necropolis, to take down the Mad King and finish, to relieve this world of this pain. Something that I had forgotten was one of my duties many years ago." And he looks up to the sky as you almost seem to hear Fortunate Son playing in the distance. as you see the
Flop,
shape,
flop, 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 flop. Sorry.
you see the shape of a large airship come over the horizon. The same airship you escorted from Golden Fields months ago. As the sound of the propellers flopping against the wind, the roar of the engines, and the squeaking of gnomes seems to bear its approach.
Hey guys, I'm pretty sure we fucked up some dragons on that airship.
Oh, we're gonna go flying again?
Oh, it's very nice.
It's the only way to get to the necropolis in one piece. Otherwise, it's by boat, and that's a treacherous journey if I've ever seen one. So I decided to call in a favor. We finished our job, and they owe us one.
That's ironic.
This is their new airship, the largest one, that they've named Etheria's Ass.
So the song that I have playing right now is a cover of How Far I'll Go. The Moana song.
Yes,
Yeah, a little ironic.
a little bit.
It would have been better if it was Force of the Sun, but you know,
Yeah. You know, it
I think
happens.
it's that lucky.
Can't get that lucky. The ship lands outside of the Albion city lines. As you approach, you are granted passage by the gnome airship captain. As you can tell, that this airship has been upgraded. It is much larger, has more armaments, and has better armor around the actual bladder that allows it to fly. The captain welcomes you aboard and goes, "Greetings, sir. We are here to bring you to the necropolis. Toot sweet, sir." Fausta simply nods at the gnome captain and walks past him towards the central bridge. The gnome salutes each and every one of you and goes, "Ranger, sir. Good to have you back on the Etheria's Ass, sir."
I still don't know why I need to be on this machine because I can fly, but I'm glad to be here.
Very good. Your accompaniments are on the bridge, sir. Finrod the Mighty, good to see you. Learn to fly yet?
No, but I think jumping off of this is gonna be easier next time if I have to.
Very good, sir. Your parachute is in the bridge. Covrol, Paladin, hail.
Oh, greetings to you.
Your accommodations are on the bridge, sir. 2 parachutes and a grappling hook at your convenience, along with snacks, sir.
Oh, most excellent. Thank you kindly.
Why does he get snacks?
Turn and give him a cheeky grin and just walk on.
You son of a bitch!
All aboard, the
Probably 'cause
bale is
he helped him.
away.
No, this ain't done. I'm as I chase after him.
As you start to see the hooks unhook from the ground, the engines begin to spool up as the gnomish captain walks to the bridge, goes, "Engines full, coordinates 37597, bring nose to 320, forward," as you hear a whistle blow in the distance. Actually, here. I've waited for this moment all of my life. Let's see if I can do it without waking up the wife. I'm probably going to wake up the wife. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
Because I have an actual first mate's whistle.
Oh God! You gonna do this on camera?
Oh, no.
I can try. Hold on. Here,
I
we'll
mean-
swap real quick. See. I got to remember how to do it. fuck, I can't remember how to do it. I used to be able to do it really well. Shit. I can't seem to get it to go now. I'm afraid I'm going to wake up the wife and she's going to come kick my ass. Which would be on par, honestly. Just being like, Jake, Bird, what are you doing?
Oh, I know the feeling.
I don't know. I can't get it. Fuck it. Whatever. I have to go back and try again. But yeah, basically it's the
Right.
first mate's whistle. You know the sound that would play over across the bridge.
Gracious. Oh. Okay, so you owe us a whistle. Just
I
FYI
do.
there.
I do. I'm gonna have to record it and try it. It's a whole thing I'm gonna have to do. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so you hear the first mate's whistle go off across the bridge, and you all begin to feel the ship lift off fully as the nose turns, points towards the necropolis, and you begin to make way yonder into the horizon. The captain looks to all of you and goes, "It's going to be a long flight, sir. I suggest you all get some rest, or at least keep your legs stiff and ready to move at a moment's notice. We will be flying past that black dragon nest again, sir, but the Etheria's ass has more teeth than she can ponder."
Look, all I'm saying is I shot down a dragon and gave him the worst migraine in his life. I don't understand why you get snacks and I don't.
I rode the dragon all the way down.
But
Why does he get snacks and
you
we don't?
provide advice and suggestions for the improvement of their ship so that such dragon attacks will not cause harm?
I mean, I
It-
protected them.
It
But I
truly is a
give them
mystery, sir.
ideas.
Don't know
I mean,
how it
I
happens,
just
sir.
watched a bag of chips, man. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, you could always ask for me to share.
I feel like this argument is worth more than asking you to share at this point.
While they're arguing, I'm putting on the parachute.
Very good.
I'm just
I
surprised
will have
parachute
been
boy over here
Putting
didn't
on
have a
my
brothel in
parachute
his
the
room.
whole time. I'm just
Just eating the chips in front of Range while he's yelling at you about it. You're just like, oh man, yeah, it's really terrible. Yeah, just crunch.
it's just the cat, the freaking chick yelling at him.
You cheeky dwarf bastard!
Says Rexus, laughing maniacally as he chomps on his chips.
Indeed.
So we close out as the Etheria's ass continues on into the horizon. As you hear in the distance Rage and Kovral arguing over who deserves the snacks. And that's where we close out our session for tonight. On our way to the necropolis to face down whatever horrors may lie ahead, and hopefully to finally put to rest the Mad King himself.
Yes.
So, with that, we say goodnight to the session map, we say goodnight to the game, and we do a quick breakdown of our favorite moments from the first session back from hiatus. Let's start with you, Mr. Rage. Your favorite moments.
You're such a dick, by the way. Oh. Yeah, that was a feels moment. And I'm glad it ended that way, but it was definitely a feels moment. You did
Yeah.
see that picture I sent, right?
Uh-huh.
Before you revealed. I was like, you son of a bitch. Oh, I said the same thing to Rexus.
Yeah. You're. Yeah.
Like, I knew what was going to happen from the get-go, and I'm like, I really don't want this kid to suffer anymore. So the only thing I could do is cure wounds. This is the only fucking thing I got. I'm gonna fucking do it. And then, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was heavy, but I had to cut down on how long that quest would take, due to lacking people.
No,
So.
it was really good. Like, it was fantastic.
Hey.
All right.
That kid is the strongest of them all. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
yes.
And I really like the banter and the roleplay.
Yeah, that's why I think you guys will enjoy doing more, like in a small group, because you'll just be able to do weird stuff and banter. It'll be good. It'll be good for you guys. It'll be good for the session. Just get to stretch your RP legs.
Mr. fucking Brothel over here. That's my other favorite moment.
That was a fucking really good one.
Fucking Christ, man.
I was like, it caught me by surprise.
Dude, I've known Stealth for fucking almost 20 years, if not 20 years by now, and he still surprises me every once in a while. It's just great.
Just he was like, oh shit, I was muted. A brothel. What?
Okay. So I'm not even joking. During the period he was muted and probably shouting over and over again, "A brothel! A brothel! Why can't you hear me? A brothel!" I was sitting there trying to think of what Cobra would say, and in the back of my mind, I swear to God, there was just like a little forced ghost of him in the back of my mind going, "Brothel! Brothel!
Forrest Ghost was still
Brothel!"
being like, do the brothel, do the funny.
Oh,
Because legitimately, I was sitting there and I was like, okay. And in the back of my mind, I was like, brothel. I was like, no, Cabral wouldn't say that. He'd be like, probably a hospital or something. Brothel. No, maybe like the freaking temple or something. Brothel. God damn.
Stealth's in your mind, beautiful Joe style, just like, do it, eat the content, make the content, do it.
dude, Logan, I know you're probably confused as to where that came from. If you go back and watch any point in this session, go back to where we're trying to find where somebody like is just down on their luck, just, you know, fucking miserable would go and just listen to that whole thing. It was fantastic.
Oh, hi, Logan. And
Logan.
Just fucking pure chaos. It was so good.
yes.
Yeah, so those were mine.
Good. All right, Mr. Stealth.
The fact that I broke everyone with brothel.
Broke is an understatement. Let's be honest.
You fucking slammed the hammer into my fucking thorax. You cocked me in the jaw, and I wasn't even paying attention. Just got absolutely slapped.
Definitely also like what Rage was saying, the feels at that part. That was a really good part.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things of where I was kind of leading you guys towards it, of like, here's examples of who's coming back. Here's examples of who's not coming back. And like Fausto was asking you guys, like, okay, who are we looking for? Because who doesn't understand it? And then fucking Stealth out of the blue is just like, an orphan? And that's literally the answer I had written down, like verbatim, of like this. If someone comes up with this or gets led to it, like that solves the question. You go to the next part. And it was just like, an orphan? And it's like, Finney, you goddamn genius.
Finrod sitting there with his galaxy brain moment.
Uh-huh. The man needs to
So
have one of those.
So if an orphan takes a selfie, isn't that a family photo?
I mean, technically, but you know. We're not here about semantics. We're here about D&D.
Mhm. Hey, that was part of D&D.
I mean, okay, fine. You got me there. Semantics. Anyway, Stealth, your other favorite moments?
I'm happy to be flying again. And that I
Nice.
didn't hurt myself also with the gauntlets.
Oh, it was close. Oh, it was close.
Oh, I bet it was.
Oh, it was there. It was like, either this is going to go really well or it's going to go not well at all. Because I was talking to a buddy of mine today about what twist was going to be in store. Because I was like, someone's probably going to go like full max with their artifact. And they're going to find out that there's like a weight behind it. And I was like, oh, I really hope he does it. And it was just like, damn it. It didn't happen. Shit. And just kind of went about my day. I'll save it for later.
Oh no, I was looking at that table. Trust me. As I did it, I was scrolled all the way down at the
You're
vault
like,
table,
uh-oh,
looking at it
uh-oh,
like, uh-oh.
And that's the suspense, right? It's the high risk, high reward. Like, do it. Do it. But yeah.
I'll be honest. I did not see a way out of that coming into this tonight. I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We're down like 3 people.
Well, it's to be fair, at the end of that last session, you guys didn't have all the information, and I had the time to really kind of polish the enemy a little bit more instead of it just being like a cookie cutter Hydra, because I'm like, that's fucking lame. Like, Draco Hydras, like, at their core are lame as shit. So I was like, I gotta make it weird. So I was able to really kind of polish it up. I was like, all right, so if they're smart, they can do this. If they're gutsy, they can do this. If they're aggressive, they can do this. And then you guys kind of chose all 3. So it was like, cool, dope. Here for it. There's always a way out in my situations. You gotta think weird. Stealth, any other favorite moments in your galaxy brain over there?
Nope. That would be it for the night.
All right. Rexus.
I mean, the whole town sequence and building up to the kid and it, like, the hinting that, oh, people who didn't remember the faces of their loved ones, they didn't come back. It's like, oh, so this is some kind of, like, mental magic where they're only able to bring back people, like, they're only able to draw from what they can perceive, basically. I was like, oh, no. I mean, obviously, it's not quite exactly what it was, but that's what I was thinking it was, you know. But yeah, it was a very cool scene. And also, just when Rage freaking popped the head of the Hydra, and all I could think of was a balloon just... that was good.
Put farting balloon sound effect dot MP4 here. Just
Yeah. Hydra starts flailing around the room.
Wacky inflatable arm flailing Hydra.
oh, you betcha. It's the new advertisement mascot, don't you know?
Oh,
Yep.
good.
Anything else you got, Mr. Rexus?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head right now, but yes. So, I guess, for now, yeah.
Awesome. My favorite moments are probably just the ones we were able to put across. Seeing you guys kind of deal with the Hydra in like your own way of you knew that you were kind of in the shit and it was like, how are we going to get out of it? And so it's kind of looking around, looking for information, like taking the breadcrumbs you saw and running with it. All fantastic stuff. You guys did really well in the town sequence, having to kind of like strength that and change that a little bit to make it easier. All was awesome for you guys going through. So I like this session. I like coming back into it. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh man, Burn, you gave us the feels. Good. That is the point. We are here to feel things. We're going to have sad days. We're going to have good days. We're going to have okay days. Like that's the way the magic happens. That's how we do things here. But I loved coming back to this. This is what I'm here for. This is what we're good for. And with that, we're closing out the D&D session for tonight. We've gone over our favorites. As a word to the wise of those that are in here that will be listening later on, the sessions are going to be from now on rotating. So starting next week, because apparently my kids have started going to sleep at a normal hour now. Surprise, it took them 3 weeks to adjust.
Yep.
We're going to be doing the sessions at 8:30 like we used to. We're not going to do it at 9 because I'm not going to need that extra 30 minutes, which is awesome for me. It means a little easier for all of us, a little earlier to bed, all that kind of good stuff. I have the events on the Discord, which the link is in the link tree for the Twitch channel. It's also in here that I'll post for you guys to see. That is the link for it. I got the events to work, so the events are in there so that it will remind you of what game we're doing. This is both for my players and myself, as well as the community, to make sure everyone's on the same page. Next week, we'll be coming back to the Beyond Etheria Ashes campaign, where those players are going to a very treacherous location, which is going to be a lot of fun for their comeback session as well. So, with that,
That kid deserves a shrine, just saying.
Say again?
That kid deserves a shrine, just saying.
Oh, it's something that can be done. It's probably something that would be set up if not Faust had already put it into play or has already started putting into motion. But yeah, so the next time we come back to Siege of Etheria, we're going to be at the Necropolis. It's going to be endgame time. So we'll see how that goes for everybody. Past that, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being part of it. Thank you for my players for being here. I know it's been a little weird. We're going to get through it. And so for those who are watching who are going to be here for next week, it's going to be pretty fun. If you've seen the movie Annihilation, hang on to your pants. If you haven't seen the movie Annihilation, now is the time to go watch it so you know what you're walking into. And with that...
So that you can hang on to your pants.
so you can hang up your pants. So that, everybody, we are out of here for the night. Thank you so much, and have yourselves a wonderful night, a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you next time. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.